Hello. Hello, welcome. This is my first video and it's a little bit daunting. I have filmed a couple of other videos. This isn't the first video that I've actually filmed. There are going to be a little bit of time jumps. At the moment, I am filming a month after I filmed my entire TBR. I went through my entire TBR cart and showed everything on it. And since then I have bought quite a few books. Again, another video I'm gonna be sharing is my visit today to the 66 book club. Obviously none of those are going to be featured on my TBR because I didn't have them at the time. I'm really excited to share that with you. I'm really excited to share some of the upcoming videos that I have planned. Just generally really looking forward to having this up and running. I thought I would film a couple first and then come back to this because honestly when I filmed it the first time round I was so nervous. I was a bit I was thinking too much about things and I think it was very dry. When I was looking back over it I was just like where's my personality? Where is me? Like where have I gone? I'm quite happy now that I have a little bit more, just even though I've only done something like 2 videos or 2 or 3 videos, I'm actually really happy about it. So she's already made an appearance. The first time round it took a minute before she came. So this is Penny. You can just about see the back of her head, but she is my 16-year-old cat. I will put some video footage of her in now so then you can see her, but she's nearly 16. She is a woman set in her ways, let's say that. She likes what she likes. She basically likes sitting on my lap. She loves that I've become a reader because now each night that I read she sits with me and lets me, she's just headbutting me, I'm really sorry, she's just being really super cute and you can just about see it in the bottom corner. Just like, please stop and just pay attention to me. She's a little old lady. She just likes her things the way she likes her things. I realised I also introduced Penny before I introduced myself. Let's start again. Hello, my name is Sarah. I am starting a BookTube. I am looking to find a community of other like-minded people and just figure out what good reads there are out there. Let me grab these questions. The first question, why did you start this channel? Why did I start this channel? So it was a bit of a New Year's resolution for me to get more into the hobby, get more into reading, push myself to try something new. I've enjoyed making films before, enjoyed making content before, but I've never actually created short videos for myself. I do it for my work, but I don't do it for me. And I think this is going to be a really interesting step into the hobby and into looking at books in a different way, maybe a little bit more, with a bit more of a critical eye. At the moment, I definitely read books to enjoy them and I'm very happy about that, but it's also nice to be able to say, I liked it because of X and Y and Z, and not just, oh, it was great, it was a good book, it was interesting. I want to expand my vocabulary on that, and I want to be able to pick up on themes. I want to be able to pick up on plot points that are really important, and I want to be able to express my opinions on those particular areas of a book. And I think having this as an outlet will be a really good way for me to be able to properly understand a book and properly look into why I really enjoyed something. 2, what are the fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Now this is an interesting one because I don't know is the honest answer. I don't know what I can bring to BookTube that people haven't already seen, apart from my personality and how I put things together. I don't really know what else I can bring. I'm really hoping that I can share my love of books in terms of I can get one person reading. That's really all I'm looking for. Number 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Essentially that goal that I have of having new readers come to me, or new readers that are looking for the books that I read. Having an outlet to be able to put out this content and put out more long form stuff. 4, why do you love reading? Oh my goodness, what a fantastic question. I adore reading because it takes me out of whatever mood I'm in, and I can move into the story and I can be part of it. I can be following along with someone's experience, and I can feel something that is totally different to what I would experience in real life or just around the corner. And it takes the mundanity out of your day. It's something completely new. You don't know what you're going to be experiencing. It's an addiction now, is to just read constantly. I love reading. I read every single night. And even in my day job, I'm able to listen to audiobooks, so I can still read during the day. 5. What book or series got you into reading? Now this is a twofold question, because I have a book that I remember from my childhood, or a series that I remember from my childhood, and then the books that got me back into reading literally last year. So to start with the childhood books, those were definitely the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I adored that series, adored it. I owned all of them. I think I borrowed, actually, I lie. I borrowed the first 3 or 4 from my primary school library and adored them so much that then we went on to just buy them and carry on as like the rest of the series. And majority of you might know that there are 13 books in that series. I loved them all. I loved the narrator. I loved the way that they used language. I loved the explanation of more unusual words. They weren't difficult words, but they were unusual. Certain phrases and things like that. I seem to remember on the lam, that meaning running from the law, and he loved alliteration. It was just fantastic. The books that got me into reading the second time round, i.e. last year, as again a New Year's resolution, I decided to read my entire physical TBR that I had on my shelves next to me, which equated to 40 books. There's considerably more books in my possession now, especially when you see my TBR video. I didn't actually succeed in that, but I did read more than 40 books last year. They just didn't happen to be the ones on my shelves. Read, I believe, something around 157 books or 158 last year. The book that got me into it, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I read Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill as my first book last year, and then my second book was Rock, Paper, Scissors. Oh good lord, Heart-Shaped Box. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed by it. It wasn't what I wanted the book to be. Then I read Rock, Paper, Scissors and it kept surprising me and it kept surprising me, and I was just like, this is the experience that I want to have time and time again. Absolutely adored it. Highly recommend it. I reckon if I were reading it again now, possibly having read so many other books, it might not have the same impact, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've also read all of Alice Feeney's backlist now. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? Ooh, I don't know. I was gonna say something around how do you keep the content going and how do you keep on top of things, but honestly that's more around organisation, and that's something that's very personal from person to person, so it will be interesting to see how they do it, especially the ones with full-time jobs as well. So it's just keeping the momentum up, I think. So I don't really know. I most of the time it's questions that get answered. So like, what are your favorite books? What would you highly recommend me read? Or how would you suggest I start? 7, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think I've already like spotted it already. It's the just keeping in time with it and keeping organized to actually make a video each week. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put that strain on myself or whether I'm going to say that it's going to be more like once every 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's going to be the worst of it because it's just keeping consistent. So that's my main concern about starting this. But I'm really, really determined to start it and to keep it going and to try and make it a really fun place for people. Next, 8. When did you start reading? Now this is a really silly question because I think it's basically the same of what book or series got you into reading, because you can either say I started reading when I was like a toddler or whatever. Like I started reading as soon as I was able to read. I wanted to read books, like that was me, or be read them, like a bedtime story. I loved it when my parents would read to me at night. Loved it. It was one of my favorite things. Or because I had a stint between 18 years old to last year where I just wasn't reading, you could say that maybe it was last year that I actually got back into reading. Well, I got back into it. It wasn't I started reading. I started reading last year seriously. So let's say that I took reading as a hobby seriously last year. Where do I read? Well, I read where I'm sat right now, which is obviously where Penny is also. And this is a reclining, I've got footage of me reclining the sofa. Penny loves it when I'm lying down and I'm reading my book. It also like holds me up. Yeah, that's great, that's where I read. What kind of books do you like to read? I like a plethora of books, I really do. I like anything from literary fiction all the way to horror, to sci-fi, to fantasy. I will read whatever is going. And then lastly, what does your book collection look like? So everything I've read is up here. This is essentially my other bookshelf that has all my non-fiction and manga on it. And then my TBR cart is where I store all my TBR for the month. It looks mad, and especially as I'm filming this on the 17th of February, there's still a lot to read this month. You know, these are the 4 that I really want to get to this month. Right, so these are my display books. So these are ones that I'm not necessarily going to read anytime soon. A few in here, again, some Folio Society. Those are the Folio Society. These are Limcrate, I believe. Editions, so you can see, which are Folio Society's limited editions. Thank you so much for watching, and if you really enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and then I'll probably do maybe a video each week, I hope. But yes, please like, subscribe and comment, and yeah, I will see you in my next one. Bye!